Hello to all dear students. Today we'll try to understand very briefly about the action potential. Now we know two neurons communicate with one another with the help of action potential. So what exactly is this action potential? An action potential occurs when a neuron sends information down an axon and away from the cell body. See, whenever a neuron it receives any kind of information, it will receive to the dendrites. Next, from the dendrites, it will be moving to the cell body and finally to the axon and the axonal and terminal. Once that information moves to the axon and terminal, whatever neurotransmitters are present on the axonal and terminal, it will be moving to the dendrites of the second successive neuron. So an action potential is nothing but it is the movement of the electric current, or you can say movement of wave of depolarization followed by wave of repolarization from the cell body towards the axon and then the axonal and terminal. So we'll try to understand this thing in still more detail. Now suppose this is a piece of your neuron, and we know inside of the cell there will be large amount of potassium ions. A cell are bags of potassium ion, and outside of the cell the extracellular cation is sodium ions, plus few calcium ions are also present. So extracellular cation are sodium ions and intracellular cations are potassium ions. So this thing applies not only for neuronal cells but for each and every cell of our body. All the cells of our body, the intracellular cation are potassium ion and the extracellular cations are sodium ions. Next, because of concentration gradient, we have got some leaky sodium channels and potassium channels, and because of the concentration gradient, few sodium ions tends to move inside of the cell and potassium ions tends to move outside of the cell. And to correct this thing, we have got sodium potassium ATPase pump. So what this pump exactly do? This pump, with the help of hydrolysis of ATP, it will capture 3 sodium ions from inside of the cell and throw them extracellularly, and from outside of the cell it will capture 2 potassium ions and move them inside of the cell. Okay, so knowledge of this thing is very much important. It is very much required to understand about the action potential. Now suppose someone touches to your finger, then how you will feel the sense of that touch, that will understand now. Now suppose this cell is nothing but a piece of the neuron present on the tip of your finger, and if anyone touches to that particular tip of the finger, what all changes taking place in that particular piece of the neuron will check out. Now suppose no one have still touched it, so the neuron, the potential of the neuron will be under resting condition. So that is known as resting membrane potential, that I have abbreviated as RMP. RMP is the resting membrane potential, and suppose it is at -70 millivolt. Now one more important potential is the potassium equilibrium potential, like for example it is -80 millivolt. So what is potassium equilibrium potential? See, cells are bags of potassium ions, and because of concentration gradient, every time the potassium ions will tend to move outside of the cell. And until what limit it can move outside of the cell? Unless and until this neuron, this part of the neuron attains the potassium equilibrium potential, until that the potassium ion will tend to go on moving outside of the cell. Okay, so that is potassium equilibrium potential. Now suppose this neuron is still not activated, it is still under resting condition. So under resting condition, this particular neuron have got a resting membrane potential of -70 millivolts. Now suppose someone touches to that finger. So because of this, mechanically gated sodium channel will get open up and there will be influx of sodium ions. And because of influx of positively charged cation, what will happen to the potential of that particular neuron? The potential will tend to move towards more positivity. Okay, like this. But suppose that touch was sub-threshold touch. Sub-threshold touch means it will just drag the membrane potential to only minus 65 millivolt. It is a sub-threshold stimulus, you can say. And it will die out. It is a kind of graded potential. Now suppose anyone touches to the tip of the finger in really very good touch, so there will be a huge amount of sodium ions moving inside via those mechanically gated sodium channel. And because large amount of sodium has moved inside, and suppose that stimuli is actually a threshold stimuli, means it will drag the membrane potential to the threshold potential. Okay, threshold potential means now the neuron got activated. Before, the touch was a kind of sub-threshold touch, and because of that sub-threshold touch, the neurons will not get activated. If you really want to activate a neuron, the stimulus should be a threshold stimulus. Now, once threshold potential has been attained in that particular piece of the neuron, after that threshold sensitive voltage gated sodium channel will get opened up. Now, few features that you should know regarding this voltage gated sodium channel are: number one, this voltage gated sodium channel will get opened up once a threshold potential has been attained. That means, that implies this channel is a voltage gated channel. It will get activated and deactivated depending upon the voltage of that particular piece of neuron. Another feature of this voltage gated sodium channel are, it have got an activation gate and an deactivation gate. Okay, now once this voltage gated sodium channel opens up, there will be massive influx of sodium ions inside the cell. Now, as large number of sodium ion is moving inside of the cell, then what will happen to the voltage of this particular neuron? Yes, the voltage will go on moving to the positive side until and unless it attains sodium equilibrium potential. Suppose sodium equilibrium potential is plus 50 millivolt, and this sodium equilibrium potential, the meaning is same as that of the potassium equilibrium potential. Means the sodium ions will go on moving inside the piece of the neuron until and unless it reaches to this particular potential. Okay, and since large amount of sodium ion has been moving inside of the cell, the potential of that particular neuron will go on moving to the positive side, like minus 40 millivolt to minus 20, 0, and even plus 10 millivolt. Okay, now the potential of this particular neuron is plus 10 millivolt. See, before at resting condition, the voltage was minus 70 millivolt, and now it has become to plus 10 millivolt. So you can imagine over here, you can see over here, before the potential was negative and now the potential has become positive. So there is changes in the charges of this potential. It has moved from negative polarity to positive polarity. So since there is changes in the polarity, we call this stage as depolarization. Depolarization means the polarity of the neuron has been changed or has been transformed from negative side to the positive side. Now, once depolarization has been taken place, what happens next? Next, as you can see over here, this deactivation gate of this voltage gated sodium channel will get closed up. Okay, so few events takes place after depolarization occurs. The very first event is closure of the voltage gated sodium channel, and after this, two important channels, that is calcium channel and potential channel, will get opened up. Via the calcium channel, the calcium ion will move inside, and via the potassium channel, the potassium ion will move outside of the cell. Since cation ion moving inside and cation ion moving outside, so what will happen to the potential of that particular neuron? Yes, it will be remaining constant. But this calcium ion will be remaining open for a very brief duration of time, and very soon it will get closed. And the channel which is remaining open is just the potassium channel, and there will be outflux of potassium ion via this channel. Since there is loss of positivity, or you can say loss of positive charges, or you can say loss of cation, so what will happen to the potential of this particular neuron? Yes, it will come back to the negative side until and unless resting membrane potential has been attained again. Once resting membrane potential has been attained, after this the potassium channel will also get closed. Now, as you can see, before the polarity of the neuron was negative, then it undergone depolarization, means it became positively charged, and again it has came back to the negative polarity. So coming back to its original polarity is known as repolarization. So first depolarization took place and afterwards repolarization took place. So this is action potential. Action potential is a wave of depolarization followed by repolarization. Now one more important thing that you should know over here is sometimes overshoot happens. Overshoot means as such potassium channel should get closed when as soon as resting membrane potential has been attained. But sometimes overshoot has been taking place. Overshoot means even after approaching the resting membrane potential, still there will be outflux of potassium ion, and until and unless a potassium equilibrium potential has been attained. Okay, so much loss of potassium ion that equilibrium potential of potassium ion has been attained. This is known as hyperpolarization. Hyperpolarization means even after attaining the resting membrane potential, still there is extra loss of the potassium ion. This is known as hyperpolarization. Okay, now this is a neuron, and suppose in this particular piece of neuron, in this particular patch of neuron, all those activities took place, whatever we have discussed so far. That means in this particular patch of neuron, there was influx of sodium ion and outflux of potassium ion, because of which depolarization and repolarization took place respectively. Now suppose there is another patch of a neuron. Okay, in this previous patch, depolarization was taking place. Depolarization means there was opening of the voltage gated sodium channel, and because of which there was influx of sodium ion. Now when this sodium ion was moving to this first patch of neuron, it does not require an extra ticket or a visa to move to another patch of the neuron. Now the second patch of the neuron, previously it was under resting membrane potential, and as soon as a sodium ion was moving from the first piece to the second piece of the neuron, it has undergone or it has approached to the threshold potential. And you people know, once threshold potential has been attained, it will cause threshold sensitive opening of the voltage gated sodium channel, because of which there will be massive influx of sodium ion. And now when sodium ion was moving in this particular piece of the neuron, in the previous patch of the neuron, there will be outflux of the potassium ion. That means when the second piece of the neuron was undergoing depolarization, the previous piece was undergoing repolarization. Similarly, a third patch of the neuron, from the second patch, the sodium ion will be moving to the third patch of the neuron, and when it approaches it, the third patch previously which was under resting membrane potential, it has attained threshold potential. Once threshold potential has been attained, it will cause opening of the threshold sensitive voltage gated sodium channel, because of which there will be influx of the sodium ion. When sodium ion was moving inside, means when depolarization was taking place in this third part of the neuron, in the previous part there will be outflux of the potassium ion. That means the repolarization was been taking place. Similarly happens to the other patches of the neuron as well. Okay, like here on the fourth patch, when depolarization was been taking place, means when voltage gated sodium channel was active and there will be influx of sodium ion, means when depolarization was been taking place, in the previous patch of the neuron, repolarization was taking place. Next, when depolarization is taking place in this part of the neuron, repolarization was taking place in the another part of the neuron. So I believe you people understood what is action potential. Action potential is nothing but it is the mode through which a neuron transport the electrical signals, or you can say it is also derived as brief change in the voltage across the membrane due to flow of certain ions into and out of the neuron. Or in simple terms, you can say action potential means it is a wave of rapidly moving depolarization followed by repolarization across a neuronal membrane. Okay, so that is action potential. Next, we should know something about this voltage gated sodium channel. Suppose this is a voltage gated sodium channel. It have got two important parts, and they are activation gate and deactivation gates. Now we should know sodium channel in three conditions, and these are resting stage, active stage and inactive stage. Resting stage means when the neuron is under the resting membrane potential. At that time the activation gate will be closed, whereas the deactivation gate will be remaining open. Okay, so this is the condition of the voltage gated sodium channel when it is under resting membrane potential. Now when the threshold potential has been attained, at that time the voltage gated sodium channel will be active. Active voltage gated sodium channel means here both the activation gate as well as the deactivation gate will be open. Okay, so under active stage this voltage gated sodium channel have got both activation gate and deactivation gate open. Now when the voltage gated sodium channel get deactivated, deactivation means here the deactivation gate will be closed. Okay, so this is the inactive stage of the voltage gated sodium channel. So under resting stage the activation gate will be closed and deactivation gate will be open. Under active condition, when the voltage gated sodium channel are active, at that time both deactivation as well as the activation gate will be open. Whereas in case of inactive stage, over here the activation gate are open, whereas the deactivation gates are been closed. Okay, so resting stage mainly occurs when the neuron are under resting membrane potential. Once threshold potential has been attained, so this voltage gated sodium channel will be at the active state. And when the depolarization occurs, eventually after depolarization the inactivation, or you can say the deactivation gates closes and the voltage gated sodium channel attains the inactivation stage. Now after attaining the inactivation stage, if the voltage gated sodium channel again it wants to get active, so first it should move to the resting stage and then it can come to active stage. Okay, we don't have any shortcut that from inactive frequently it can move to active state. First of all, inactive state is followed by resting, then active and then inactive. Once the voltage gated sodium channel have become inactive, it should flip back to resting stage and then it can move to the active stage. So this is all about of the voltage gated sodium channel. I hope you people understood this video about the action potential. Thank you.